tools and techniques we can use to really analyze and interpret this data. So GIS isn't just about mapping, it's about leveraging spatial intelligence to drive real-world sustainability solutions. So I'm gonna hand it over now to the real GIS expert, Charles, and he's gonna show us just how deep the rabbit hole goes.
So as you can see with GIS, not only can we look at the spatial information, but with GIS, there's also a very, very powerful tool behind it. And that is every single piece of information in GIS has multiple attributes to it, meaning that we can query this data, we can analyze this data, we can compare this data against other data, we can join multiple data sets together. The power of GIS is taking multiple data inputs and coming out with an output to provide either analysis or for public consumption to help people better understand where this information is coming from. In the case of GIS, you can see the combination of the spatial data as well as the information data provides a very, very interesting compilation of this information. Now, with this, we have the points. Now, how do we get information out of this? We have the locations. What can we do with that? Well, one of the great things about this, as you can see, is every single one of these green waste bins has a building identifier, meaning we can take the building footprints here on campus and we can intersect where these points are located versus the building footprints. Well, we don't live in a 2D world, we live in a 3D world. So let's look at what happens when we take the building footprints in a 3D environment and let's say show the height of each building based on one floor unit for every green waste bin that's on campus. Then you get a representation of where the green waste bins are with something like this. You can also see very clearly where the green waste bins are not by the buildings that aren't represented. Now, this also provides useful information for such as the Office of Energy and Sustainability and how they promote putting more green waste bins in offices across campus. Where are they doing well? Where can they do more? What offices are not participating? So even more data analysis can be done with this information and can further these types of programs across campus. So with GIS, all of this information not only becomes a table, but it also becomes visually represented and allows everyone to be able to see how this information is displayed, portrayed across the campus in a spatial and even 3D environment. So, from the Geography Club, I'd like to thank you. I'm going to pass it back to Mackenzie.
Please. There we go. Okay. Next, we'd like to introduce Izzy from our Office of Housing. She's going to tell us about the initiatives going on in the department over there.
Hello, everybody. My name is Izzy. I'm the Sustainability Assistant with the Office of Housing and also the current chair of Greenfest. And I'm here today to tell you a little bit more about the zero waste initiatives that we have going on in both the Office of Housing and with Greenfest. So to start with the Office of Housing, the first zero waste initiative that I would like to tell you about today is our compost program, which we rolled out in February of this year. We recently introduced compost stations to 18 different residential communities that are on our campus. And these stations include a bin associated with signage and then also complimentary paper bags that students can use to line personal caddies with, and also a QR code that students can scan if they would like to have their own personal compost caddy. So through this program, not only have we just introduced the compost stations, but we have been pairing these stations with supplemental education as well. So we've been tabling at all of the different residential communities, and we've also been designing strategic social media campaigns to really let students know about composting and how they can successfully compost within the setting of their dorm room or their apartment. And the second zero waste initiative that I would like to share with you is the Give It Up program, which is a long-standing donation initiative that prevents excess waste during move-out. So as students are preparing to leave their residential community, a lot of waste could potentially be generated. So we try to combat this with the Give It Up program, where students can donate any unwanted clothes, housewares, bedding, any gently used usable goods to the Disabled American Veterans Association, which you see in the white bins that are behind me. And students can also donate any non-perishable food items that they would like to the red bins that you see behind me, and those go to the food bank. So a really cool recent accomplishment that we had with the Give It Up program is that in 2023, last year's move out, we had a record number of pounds donated and diverted from the landfill for both the Disabled American Veterans Association and the food bank as well, with a record 88,500 pounds of waste diverted and given to the Disabled American Veterans, and with a record 6,187 pounds of food donated to those in need through the food bank. So that was a really cool accomplishment. Thank you, and as we are approaching move out, we hope to continue to bring these numbers up even higher in future years. And then on to Greenfest. Like I said, I was the chair of Greenfest for the years 2023, 2024, and I'm so proud to announce that this year we had the first completely zero waste week of events that Greenfest has had. So this was an amazing accomplishment that I achieved with the help of my committee and with my amazing advisors. And basically we achieved zero waste through compostable packaging, utensils, reusable event materials, and eco-friendly event planning that you can see on the screen. So we're very proud of this accomplishment, and we are planning to share this information with future committees so that they can continue on our progress and expand on it even further. So thank you very much, and I'm now going to hand it over to Tiana and Dakota to talk more about Green Love. There will be a question panel at the end, yes. There'll be a question panel at the end where you can ask any of the student leaders questions. Thank you, and I'll now hand it over to Tiana and Dakota to speak more on Green Love.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tiana Ortiz. I'm a fourth-year environmental science major.
And my name is Dakota Barrett. I'm a third-year nursing major.
And we are both students part of the Green Love Commission, which is a sustainability organization here on campus. And it's a commission that focuses on a lot of sustainable practices and initiatives. And of the several committees that are involved within Green Love, we'd like to be introducing the committee that we run as co-chairs, also known as the Zero Waste Committee. And what the Zero Waste Committee does is we are a student-led organization that is dedicated to promoting a more sustainable lifestyle by educating about the importance of zero waste practices. And we do this through hosting a series of numbers of informative meetings and sessions that cover on a lot of zero waste topics. And the reason this is important is because it helps spread our mission of sustainability while also providing ideas for improvements. And we also include a number of different activities that we host during the school year. Some of these events can be beach cleanups that we host with and partner with other organizations here on campus and elsewhere, as well as also farmers markets events.
So as Tiana mentioned, we do host a lot of fun events and we promote community for students who are interested in sustainability, but we also promote initiatives on campus. One of these initiatives, as you can see on the screen, is our Zero Waste Plan for Change that we've been working on this past semester. So this is a continual process for sustainability improvements to help with students and their sustainability practices. Part one of our Zero Waste Plan for Change has to do with item inventories. We've been going through and taking samples of each type of waste that the different restaurants on campus produce, starting within the student union. And in doing so, we are categorizing what types of waste can be diverted from the landfill into compost and recycling so that we can analyze that information. We're excited to work with Aztec Shops on this project, and we plan on continuing this throughout campus. Part two of our Zero Waste Plan for Change has to do with bin placement. So that is the waste bins, which would be for landfill, recycle, or compost throughout campus. Right now, we've started making a guideline for within the student union, as you can see on the screen, just so that the bins are placed in high traffic areas that are very visible. That way students have better waste management practices and we can continue to divert waste from the landfill and from our earth. Thirdly, we have our waste graphics, which are informed by parts 1 and 2 of our Zero Waste Plan for Change. In doing this, we plan on making graphics, as you can see on the screen, that are specific to the restaurants on campus, and that way we can better educate students and make them more aware of how they can be more sustainable with their waste management. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear me there.
All right, so along with that initiative that we have going on, we are also excited to announce a number of different initiatives that we're going to be focusing on for the next couple of months, and hopefully that'll launch within the fall 2024 school year. And this includes events such as our trash talking and tabling, where we will be discussing our graphics and waste disposal graphics with the students. This also includes our water bottle initiative with the Aztec Food Pantry, where we will repurpose lost water bottles to be able to give away to students in need. E-waste, where we will create a place for different electronic waste to be properly disposed of on campus. And finally, with Children's Center, where we will discuss waste management with parents and children at the center. And if there's anyone who is interested in joining for our Zero Waste Committee, we do have this QR code where we highly encourage anyone to be able to link the QR code. It'll lead you to our Discord where you'll be able to have more information on all of these upcoming topics.
Okay, so in partnership with Associated Students, our Commissioner Antonella, who you met earlier, and the ASVP of University Affairs, Allie Gallant, have created a form called the Your Voice Matters Sustainability Form. So this is a form for students to submit their questions, concerns, or ideas for sustainability, and hopefully after hearing about how many wonderful ideas have been initiated by students on campus, you're inspired to submit your own ideas. So we encourage you to submit this, and you can scan that QR code up there and either save it for later or submit a concern right now. And that is all from Green Love. Thank you. Our next speaker, who also happens to be involved in Green Love, is Shefali Sharma, and she'll be talking about Save Soil.
Hi everyone, my name is Shefali Sharma and I'm a third-year psychology major with an emphasis in neuroscience on the pre-med track, and I'm the events co-chair for Green Love and the president of Save Soil. So during my freshman year, after I found out about statistics such as that it takes us, our generation, 8 oranges to get the same amount of vitamin A that our grandparents got from just 1 orange due to soil degradation and its resulting effects on poor nutritional value in our food, I realized the importance soil health plays in human health. Currently, our soil is dying, with the UN predicting that by 2050, 90% of Earth's soils could be degraded. Due to a loss of organic matter in our soil that comes in the form of plant litter, animal waste, our soil is rapidly turning into sand, with rapid desertification happening globally. So what does this mean for us? Why is this an issue that concerns us? Raise your hand if you guys like food. Okay, everyone, yes. So 95% of our food, indirectly or directly, comes from soil. Furthermore, degraded soils can release up to 850 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which is more than all of humanity's emissions combined in the last 30 years. Whereas healthy soils is one of the largest carbon sinks on this planet. So with this current rate of degradation, we won't have enough healthy agricultural soil to produce enough food for our growing populations, leading to food crises, climate crises, and leaving our generation and future generations in an unsustainable world. In fact, the gut microbiome is extremely crucial for one's mental health, and soil plays an crucial role in this, in mental health and in our gut microbiome. There's an extremely complex and large nervous system located in our gastrointestinal system, and research has found that disturbances to our microbiome and our gut has been linked with mood disorders, neuropsychiatric disorders, along with neurotransmitter imbalances. Soil was essential in the evolution of the human gut microbiome and is a provider of beneficial gut microorganisms. And we all know that mental health problems have been increasing in the US, especially after the pandemic. And currently, poor soil health has led to poor nutritional value in our food, with about 80 to 90% of our nutrients in our fruits and vegetables having dropped in the last 100 years in the US, leading to disturbances and poor gut microbiome. And already, the World Health Organization has stated that over 2 billion people suffer from nutritional deficiencies worldwide. So this highlights how poor soil health has major implications for human health, and including our physical health and mental health, and lays the foundation of sustainability across the world. So how do we create a change for a problem as big as our soil? Soil that blankets every nook and crevice of land on this planet. Being conscious of the fact that we all come from soil. We eat food from soil. And in the end, when we die, we all go back to our soil. It's important to understand the role soil plays in our lives. In fact, the all-inclusive Save Soil Conscious Planet movement was launched on March 21st, 2022 by the founder of the movement, Sadhguru, who has been creating this movement for the past 24 years through various ecological and environmental initiatives, and officially launched the Save Soil movement in 2022 by a 100-day lone motorcycle journey, where he traveled from the UK to India across 30,000 kilometers, 27 countries, to meet with experts, scientists, leaders, influencers, visionaries, to raise awareness about the importance of our soil and the need for soil restoration policies. As a result, the movement has reached over 4 billion people on the planet. And the goal of the Safe Soil movement is to pass long-term soil-centric policies across 193 nations. 81 nations already have taken steps for soil restoration policies. The widespread global community organizing efforts of Safe Soil volunteers led to Safe Soil's recognition and influence at the COP28, the UN Climate Change Conference back in December. And at the COP28, Safe Soil, along with other organizations, influenced the creation of the first global climate declaration centering agriculture resilience. Creating conscious individuals who are aware is the first step in making any changes. We don't need to be climate activists to know that climate change is an issue, but no one knows that soil health is an issue. To get soil health to that level of awareness where everyone, regardless of what career path you're in, what area you're involved in, knows about that soil health is an issue and that it impacts directly our lives is crucial. And that's what we're doing here with our newly open student chapter, Save Soil SDSU. Just like how one man's relentless commitment for change through just a single 100-day motorcycle journey created a domino effect of changes, change starts with you and I. So one step you can go after this summit is to go to savesoil.org/write and take 2 minutes to send a letter to your leaders urging for soil restoration policies. That's how we make our voices heard. Thank you, and I'll be passing on to Clara next.
Hi everyone, my name's Clara. I already introduced myself, but I'm a third-year political science major with a minor in sustainability and a certificate in public law. I wanted to touch on an important topic of sustainability, which is mental health, which Shafali briefly touched on before, and just kind of the student view of how mental health aligns with sustainability. Though it might not seem like a large part of the sustainability movement, I would refer to mental health as the gateway to sustainability, as you have to have a positive and open mindset to get into kind of the realm. Many of you, I'm sure, have experienced mixed emotions about sustainability, and behind me I have some words that you may be feeling currently, past, present. Things like climate anxiety and despair are real, and many of us deal with it. Many people like myself have found ourselves in moments feeling as if the world's ending and it's all our fault. But what we have to realize is we're responsible for what we can control. Feeling discouraged is normal, but you must take these feelings and spark them into action. Real world action and change is what's truly going to take this negative mindset and spin it into something applicable and positive. I now feel educated and I have the power to make a change after getting involved, and I urge others to as well. The actions I'm taking are things I'm capable of doing. In reality, you can't ban fossil fuels alone. You can't ban single-use plastics. That would be impossible. But what you can do is work together and advocate for things that you are passionate about and turn away from the not my problem mindset. Sustainability is entirely interconnected with every other section of the world. We must work together and create this change that's everlasting and applicable. Um, right now, I'm working as an outreach intern for the Office of Energy and Sustainability. Though I'm not the most scientific person, I've taken my passion, which is outreach and marketing, and spun it into something new. One thing I've been extremely proud of me and my colleagues is recently we had our sustainable open house, which highlighted kind of CSU recognition of sustainability efforts on campus. We do things like waste audits and learn what's really making a difference and asking students feedback of what they want to see on campus and their concerns and opinions. I also want to urge people to get involved in things that you're interested in. We have so many organizations on campus like Green Love, Zero Waste Committee, Save Soil, the Senate, Geography Club. I could go on forever, and all of the organizations on campus as well have sustainability aspects. So I urge all of you to find what you're passionate about and get involved. Whether it includes sustainability or not, you can kind of put that sustainable mind cap on and apply it to your life. And I just want to remind all of you that without the sustainability movement and all of you, none of this would be possible, and your existence is beneficial in creating a better planet. Thank you. And now, thank you. I'd like to welcome back my student leaders just for a quick panel. Okay. Did we want to start right there? What was your question, sir? Yeah.
They're really all a mixture of all of those categories. Now, what I see on your bins, and I would advise all the bins on campus do this, is use both verbal labels and pictures. So if I can see, oh, here's where I put a can, here's where I put used food, here's where I put a paper plate, you're going to get more fidelity with people depositing it in the correct container.
Do you have any other questions?
All
Yeah,
right,
Wesley.
Wesley.
Hi, well, jumping off of, sorry, sir, what was your name again? Off of Peter's point, in Montreal, I was there a couple weeks ago and saw a bin in an underground shopping mall, which was saying, like it was an all intake bin, and it said in French, "You throw away, we sort." Now, I don't know if it's greenwashing or not, but is that something that could also be considered, like something which the student body could research, such that, again, if we have that problem of, I don't know where to throw my waste, I throw it all in like the wrong bin or in just one bin, is it possible to have like an extra staff or an effort to research sorting that at all, just as a backup? I was just wondering if that's an option.
Does anyone, you want to touch on trash talking as well, Emily?
Hello? Oh, there we go. Yeah, the Green Love students here can speak to something on trash talk, but in regards to sorting waste, it could be a potential option. The problem that we see in our office and here at State with trying to expand sorting and waste diversion initiatives is that it all takes input, it all takes work and time and money. And so our facility staff is working really hard, and we're going to be working with them continually in the future to increase training on sorting and especially sorting through the contamination that we see in our trash bins and our compost bins. But it's all an effort that takes massive amounts of coordination, and so it'd be amazing to get to a point where the waste stream is sorted correctly, but it'd be nice to be able to have a population that can do that from the initial phases of disposal. And so that's what a lot of the students on this stage are working towards, is to educate students, educate staff, anyone that comes to campus on the correct ways to dispose of your waste to save that time and money.
I have a question from Lori.
Thank you for all your work here on campus. How do you see yourselves professionally in a few years going out and working in other industries and other places and implementing what you're learning through these activities on campus?
Is it on? Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of us, you definitely, like we said earlier, don't have to be a sustainability major or an environmental science major. I think for all of us, it definitely is a point that people from all majors should be working together to combat the climate crisis from their respective disciplines. With that being said, I am a sustainability major, and I'm definitely looking to get into the field after college. I'm actually graduating in like 3 weeks. So I'm looking at, thank you. I'm looking at certain like sustainability specialist positions, coordinator positions, where I would potentially be able to make a difference within a company or an organization and look at whether it be events, their waste, just different areas of sustainability in that company and help to improve them from there. And then I don't know if anyone else wants to.
Hello. So I am not a sustainability major. As I mentioned, I'm a nursing major, and I see it relating to my career in the sense more that I can come up with ideas and help support hospitals and the environment that I'm working in to be more sustainable. I've learned a lot from my peers up here and people who have been learning in school about sustainability. And I know that nurses have kind of communities and they can do research on things like this, and that's what I plan on doing in my career.
Hello. Okay. So I'm a psychology major, and I plan to become a psychiatrist in my future. And so when it comes to, like when I came to SDSU, I never thought that I would get into sustainability, and I never realized the connection between the sustainability and human health. So for our patients' health, with food nutritional value and how that plays a role in our mental and physical health is all important, and that deeply relates with sustainability. So exploring like sustainability initiatives and how it impacts our healthcare system is something I'm looking forward to in my future career.
I'm a sustainability major, but I have an ISCOR minor, so the International Security and Conflict Resolution. And I think one of the goals, just like all of us here, it's we come from such a wide range of disciplines. I eventually want to transition into like primatology, so an emphasis in how you implement sustainability to help with global security. And just like one of our or all of our goals is to just really demonstrate like sustainability can be implemented into every single field and every single major on this campus. And it's just really awesome.
Field a question from Josh.
Okay, I guess one question I have is, when you guys were talking about the trash thing earlier, and there's like the diversion rate, what does diversion actually mean? Like, you guys have a definition for that? And then I guess part two to this is, when I was a student, we went to a MERV facility, which is like a recycling slash, it just separates trash and recyclables from other trash and recyclables. And that is kind of like a single stream version of I guess trash sorting. So does that factor into diversion here on campus, such as we throw things in recycling, but it just goes to a plant where it gets sorted anyway? And if you guys have an answer for that.
Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Speaking to the first question about diversion, I don't have a dictionary definition for you, but the general sense of it is, like with our compost programs, a lot of people consume their food or like are cutting vegetables on for their dinner, and they throw their food scraps in the trash. And it can happen. AS had a swap shop yesterday, so it can happen with any type of waste. The swap shop involved kids bringing in their clothes and ended up trading their clothes, which a lot of people would have ended up throwing in the trash. So it's kind of taking materials that originally would have gone into the trash and into the landfill and finding a new use for them, repurposing them, because when they go to the landfill, they're often covered up, and the decomposition of these materials takes a lot longer if they ever do decompose, and it can also release harmful methane emissions depending on the material of what it is. So that's a general sense of it. And then the second part, mixed recycling. EDCO, a lot of our recycling, I think all of our recycling on campus goes to EDCO, is that correct? Yes, so all goes to EDCO. Some of the staff from our office actually had the opportunity to tour EDCO's recycling facility earlier this year. And so I believe it's all mixed recycling on campus now. Is that right? Yeah. So it's mixed recycling on campus, and they have a really cool, innovative sorting system that basically detects the type of material going through each phase of the plant and sorts it automatically. And there are staff on hand taking out materials to decrease the contamination of it. But you'll see on campus there's a lot of like single recycling bins. So you still have to separate your landfill materials and your compost and your recycling. But in terms of recycling, it's all mixed use now, which is really great in terms of correctly sorting when it goes to this facility. Does that help?
Something that also relates to a previous question about sorting the waste, we do have, I believe our janitorial staff right now within the student union does do post-consumer sorting. So even though a lot of our students and staff and the public do not know how to sort it correctly, we do have people that sort it before it is sent to EDCO, which takes our waste. So in case anybody was concerned about that, we have a process in place, but we would like to improve the pre-consumer side of things.
All right, Cameron?
I just have a question for everybody up there, basically about the Sustainability Summit. I would imagine that everybody knows about sustainability and concepts such as recycling and all those things. But I'm curious about other events here, maybe at SDSU or other places, and are there any policies or procedures for implementing sustainability measures there? Or are there any processes that you guys would like to see implemented at San Diego State to kind of view other summits or conferences from a sustainability perspective that maybe could be implemented?
Can you hear me? I'm from the Office of Energy and Sustainability. So one of the things we're actually doing right now is we're rewriting our climate action plan. So though that is just for our university, we've actually kind of been in meetings with other CSUs looking over their climate action plans and seeing what initiatives they have that we can kind of take from that and spin it into our own university. So our office is focusing on stuff like energy, compost, outreach, kind of all those things that we're each individually brainstorming and we're researching throughout San Diego and other CSUs and finding out where, like, for example, the waste, where other campuses are diverting their waste, how their compost programs are working. So it's a lot of just research and learning from other campuses and kind of networking at events, stuff like that.
I can speak to Greenfest as well. Greenfest, if you are not aware, is a student-led organization that is under Associated Students. So as the chair of Greenfest, I'm on the Aztec Student Union board as well, which takes place here in the Student Union, which is a double LEED Platinum certified building. So every event that is under the Aztec Student Union board does follow kind of a sustainability protocol in one way or another, but Greenfest is the organization under the Aztec Student Union Board that focuses exclusively on sustainability as well as diversity in SDSU Pride as well. So we have our week-long series of events in the spring that all engage our campus community by promoting and celebrating sustainability in different ways. So one event that we had during the week was the Sustainability Career Fair, where we had 42 vendors, I believe, from different areas around San Diego, whether it's nonprofits, for-profits, government agencies and other companies as well. They came and had the chance to network with students and tell students a little bit more about what they do and how students can get involved, whether it's through volunteering, internships, or job opportunities. So I think that was an example of one way that we were able to engage with not only the SDSU community, but to connect the SDSU community with San Diego in general and show them different opportunities to get involved in sustainability.
Hello. And to speak on different events, so Green Love holds their Green Lunch Bag series every month. And these are zero waste events, and they bring in speakers from locally. During Green Fest Week, we had a speaker who talked about sustainable fashion. And so we bring in different perspectives regarding sustainability in different areas to educate our student population. I know also from Safe Soil side, we have a Safe Soil Week during fall, where last year it was our first Safe Soil Week where we had events to raise awareness about the soil crisis, and we aim to have these events zero waste as well. So these are some of the other initiatives that are happening on campus.
Hi. And then another thing that I'd like to address as well is with Green Love and as well with Zero Waste, we are working with different eateries all across campus in order to push for more compostable and products to be launched out. So that way we can start looking more at compostable items and pretty much reducing and eliminated single-use plastics. And that's something that our committee is working on, and part of our zero waste plan for change is looking at different inventories, being able to look at which items can be switched out and replaced with compostable items, and then from there is where we start working on our graphics to be able to put onto the bins that have both labels and wording, or excuse me, both pictures and labels, so that way it makes it easier for students and passerbyers to be able to properly sort their waste.
Thank you everyone for listening to the student section. One last reminder for all students here, go outside and enter the Hawaii trip giveaway from Alaska Airlines. And I'd like to welcome Kat and Jessica back up to the stage to close out.
Oh, no, you don't. We're hijacking the podium. So this is the part where we say, I know people say we couldn't have done it without you, but when I say it, I mean it. We could not have done this without you. So Dr. Jessica Whiteside and Kat Hernandez, the two of you were awesome. You did an awesome job. They just, whatever we asked them to do, they said, okay, we'll do it. And for those of you who have never been an MC, it is a lot of work. So we just want to say one big, gigantic, sustainable thank you.
I did want to say we should give our student leaders another round of applause because that was fantastic work. I was really very impressed. Yeah. All right. We just wanted to have some closing remarks. First and foremost, thank you all for a wonderful day. The sessions were really fantastic, and we want to just take some key takeaways from what we discussed today. First, here in Southern California, we're in an area that has tremendous amounts of hazards, both natural and human-induced. And we heard about some of those today, but we were focusing really on solutions. So obviously, we're in an area with a lot of earthquakes, so there are geohazards, there are natural hazards. It's also one where there are shrinking lakes, water quality. We heard about degraded soils in our last session. We heard about the health of the coastal regions, the health of the oceans, fisheries, but we're also in an area with tremendous strength, so we can capitalize on solar energy, we can capitalize on wind energy, we can capitalize on our position here that we're close to geothermal availability, we're close to areas that are full of critical minerals that will fuel our energy transition. So there are lots of great things in store as well. We also heard how our faculty, our staff, and our students, again, are approaching sustainability and environmental issues from a multidimensional perspective. So it's a holistic problem. It's something that we're all in together, but remember, there are solutions. We want campus leaders to be recognized. I can't wait to see who next year's sustainability champions are. I already heard from a few of them, I believe, today. So I think that that's another thing we want to take away from this climate summit. Also, we have a responsibility to climate action. We have a responsibility to environmental justice because we're sitting in seats of higher education. So we're here to inform not just our students, not just our staff, not just faculty and each other, but also the local public. So this is also important because we see here about voting. So this is informed activities that help the politics of the state of California in terms of voting. So what else can we do? Because again, we want to take action here. We have a chance to do something. Lobby politicians, run for office if you can, call to action for attendees here, and also amplify that effect by reaching out to other people you know. You saw and heard from a lot of people undertaking a lot of initiatives here at SDSU, and those are scaled up not just to the other CSUs, but to the state of California, the United States of America, and across the world. Also, finally, if you haven't already, please consider donating to the SDSU Campus Sustainability Project Fund or asking someone you know who has a bigger wallet to do so to amplify your impact. We really do truly appreciate your support. And also list up here of other initiatives that you could be involved in.
All right. Thank you all to all of our event sponsors and contributors for making this amazing event happen. Thank you so much for joining us, and please be sure to come back next year. I'll still be around, so I'll know who didn't. There will be social hour next door with lots of food, as well as tables, research posters, and our climate action plan activity. So please give us your input as encouraged throughout this event. Happy Earth Month, and see you all next year.
All right, go have fun, everybody. And of course, as the slide says, we really couldn't have done it without the involvement of every single person on this slide. A lot of them are in the front row. So Madeline, Kirsten, Molly, Alice, Joe, obviously Kat, and everyone else who's been involved. Thank you. Eric Hansen. Awesome. No, that was all you. All you. I know. Now we know what to expect if we're asked to do something like this again.